talk about this spring and how difficult it's been for you to be just kind of a limited participant, and what kind of leadership role have you taken, some of the young guys and new guys in that room?
Yeah, I mean, it's tough. I haven't been out for this long since I started playing football. So just for me to sit out and not be able to do stuff. I mean, I just started doing indie not so long ago, so I'm able to get back into it a little bit. But I guess it's a blessing in disguise, just teaching me how to lead from a different point of perspective and how to be there for the younger guys and also the older guys. We got a very mix between old guys and young guys in the DB room, so it's kind of just teaching me how to get to everybody, how to connect with certain people.
What would you say are the biggest things you've learned about yourself, about the defense, just from watching the spring from another perspective, being on the sidelines more than you've been in the past?
I say probably just knowing the defense. Like when you got to sit there and watch, it teaches you to watch different things. Usually you just kind of pay attention to what I got to do it beside me and do it in front of me. But like you see everything and you're just sitting there watching and trying to coach everybody up. So that's probably the biggest thing. And for myself, probably just being more vocal. I mean, not being able to be out there has forced me to speak up a little more, and just be that voice that we need.
Malaki, what stood out to you from the competition at safety this spring? Just all those different guys and how they've been competing to this point in spring.
Right. There's a bunch of depth in that room. That room is very competitive. And just watch everybody go out every day and try to just compete. Beat the guy in front of them, but still in a healthy way. Healthy competition is what we talk about a lot in that room, and I see it. From every guy, older to youngest guy in there to the oldest guy in there, they're all going out there and competing, trying to get better every day. So I mean, it's a good thing to see.
I want to ask you about KJ Bolden. He kind of comes in with a lot of hype. Another Georgia guy from sort of your area.
Right.
Have you tried to take him under your wing, or is it? I know you try to take all the young guys under your wing, but I just wonder if you see a little connection there or some similarities between him and KJ.
Yeah. He's very athletic, very smart. Just like all the young guys that came in with him, they all have talents that they possess. But he's very he's like a sponge. He just wants to soak up all the knowledge and all the information. You see him in meetings, he's just writing stuff down. And I think the thing that shocked me the most, I think all the freshmen have that. Like I watch them in meetings, they're all taking notes, they're all writing stuff down. So I think that class is going to be very good.
Is it fair to say you remind you of yourself a little bit?
A little bit. I'd say that just a little bit. Yes, sir.
Malaki, how long was the shoulder injury kind of lingering that you needed to get worked on? And when you talk about doing India practice, like how many minutes are you actually doing something?
I'd say it's tough because I had tweaked it during fall camp, and then I want to say third or fourth game into the season, I kind of felt it and it just wasn't how it's supposed to be. Then I figured out before the Bama game that I had to get surgery. And I decided to wait until after FSU. I got that done, and probably I'm doing all the indie. I just can't have any contact, so I'm doing drills and everything that doesn't involve hitting. I'm doing so.
Why was it important for you to play in the Florida State game, knowing that you had to have this surgery and knowing that it might cost you some time this spring?
I think there's a few things that played into it. One, the guys that I played with last year, I won't get to play with them again this year, or ever probably, unless we get on the same team when we get to a higher level. And that connection that we built, that bond that we had on that team was special. And two, the job wasn't finished. A lot of people had opted out, which was nothing wrong with that. But there was still a game to play, and just because it wasn't the game we wanted to play or whatever the case may be, I just wasn't gonna just sit out and treat it like it wasn't nothing.
We got to speak to Corey Thomas last week, and he got to know him a little bit. Just what kind of guy is he behind the scenes, and what have you seen out of him?
Yeah, Jacory's like my best friend, man. He's a character for sure. But you can tell he loves the game of football. He wants to learn. He wants to get better. And just to see his growth that he's taken from even from like the last practice to this spring, when we practiced at FSU, he had a really good practice, and that transition into the spring. So he's getting better day by day. So it's really good to see his growth.
Just what about his just behind the scenes? You guys are best friends.
Yeah, he's a fool, man. He loves to laugh a lot. He's a foodie, I guess you would call it a foodie. I don't know the name for it. I guess that would be it. But he loves it, man, and he's just always trying to make somebody smile.
Yeah, y'all had Jake Pope, the transfer portal guy. Y'all came out of high school in the same class.
Right.
What's your relationship with him like dating back to high school? If you have one, and what's it like now seeing him in the meeting room on the practice field on a daily basis?
So I knew Jake a little bit in high school. I didn't know him like we weren't best friends or anything, but I know him in high school. And just to see him come in from Bama and just the knowledge that he has from Bama come into here, we kind of pick back forth off each other. Like, hey, what'd y'all do there? Like, how was it there? Or whatever the case is. Just trying to pick his brain and see the differences. But our relationship is good. He's one of the older guys in the room, so he has that voice also. So just to see him come in and just to see him grow, I'm seeing him grow as well. So it's a good thing to see.
Okay, this is kind of old news, but I kind of want to get your perspective. I was just thinking about this the other day. I mean, you guys had a great season last year, but there were 6 straight games that other teams scored on the opening drive, and you're on the back end of that.
Right.
So you had you had the view in your lap. What do you learn? Does this year's team look back on that like, I guess Louisine always would say we're not as good as you guys think. I mean, how much of a sense of urgency comes from last year's issues, and how did you navigate that? I mean, Kirby ended up he told the joke about it and then stopped the next game. But how
Right.
did you guys navigate that?
I think the biggest thing is we take pride in defense here. That's the biggest thing, and we always didn't play how we wanted to. We always finished how we wanted to, but we never played how we wanted to. You're never gonna play a perfect game, and I think the thing that we just did was just try to hone in on the things that were important. When you play defense, it takes first level, second level, and third level. So if they score, you just can't say, oh, it was the linebacker, oh, it was the D line, the safety missed a fit. If they score, it's something wrong at all 3 levels. So we just all try to be on the same page, and taking that from last year to this year, just making sure everybody is on the same page, and we all have the sense of urgency, knowing what's important.
Not having been able to been out there as much as you probably would have liked, just what defines a successful spring to you?
Probably how much I can learn and affect others. I think that's the biggest thing for me in my role right now is being able to affect other people, whether if it's young guy, old guy, GA, coach, it doesn't matter. Just bringing that energy, knowing that every day I came out there and I was the same guy no matter what. I can't practice, but I'm not going to sit around and just pout about it. Like I want everybody to get better. I want to see the defense grow. So just being able to just learn and teach, really.
You kind of talked about that Alabama look, and obviously you've got a coach from Alabama,
Right.
and James Robinson. What is the experience like being able to work with him and talk with him, especially not being on the field, and just what's it been like to pick his brain a little bit?
Right. It's been awesome. He actually got here, and our first meeting, he like if you closed your eyes, you would think Muschamp was talking. So I was like, went to a meeting. I was like, did Muschamp give you a script like or what to say when you got here? Like I was saying the same things. I forgot they've been together for a long time, but he's very knowledgeable about the game, and just to see him come in from another perspective, again from Bama, seeing what they did and the things that they've done, and he just brings a different perspective and a different type of energy to the room. I haven't been able to be out there, but I meet with him a lot. He runs in the morning and every day at 5, and he told me, and I texted him Monday. And I texted him at 4:30. I was like, yo, you up? He didn't text me back. I was already here because I was trying to beat him here. He didn't text me back, so I started running. He calls me at 5 o'clock. He's like, where you at? I'm like, I'm in indoor. He's like, come outside. So we start running. We run 2 miles or whatever. And after that, we went up and watched film. So just that connection I'm starting to build with him, it's very special. And I'm excited to see where it goes.
Malaki, when you look to Saturday and G-Day, more so as a defensive back, what is a successful G-Day for the secondary, coming out of that game and saying, okay, we accomplished this?
Right. I'd say just going out there and compete, everybody being on the same page, just seeing guys wanting to know what the job is and how to get it done, and just going out there and compete, because I like to say we play the hardest position on this field. We're going to give up the ball time to time, but it's always about the next play. So it's going to happen, but I want to see guys when it does happen, how do they respond? So I think that'll say a lot about the room that we have.
you're a guy who's earned a lot of their NIL opportunities. How have you balanced sort of managing that portfolio of things that you have there while also still obviously prioritizing your development as a player at Georgia?
I think honestly the best answer I can give you is probably I keep the main thing. You know, the NIL is great. I love it. But you know, my whole goal before I got to college, because it wasn't a thing when I got here. And my whole goal was to come here and get developed and go to the league, and I keep that the main thing. And I mean, I got a great team with me. I'm with ESM. They do a great job. They take a lot of load off of me. But you know, I just try to stay focused on the main thing.
Time for one more.
You talked about KJ earlier. There's obviously a lot of talented young guys on the defensive side of the ball. Just what does it take to play as a freshman in this defense?
I think you gotta know the defense. You don't have to know it perfect. You don't gotta be a master of the defense, but you have to know what to do, when to do it, and how to do it. And you also have to have effort. People gotta be able to count on you. Like if I can look over there and know what you're gonna do, and I can count on you to do your job, then you can play. And that goes not just for freshmen, but anybody in the room. If you can be accountable and you have effort, then you'll play in the defense. That's all.
All right, Malachi, thank you.
Thanks, Malachi.